Okay, let's talk about it. What I'm talking about is the Coogler effect. Basically, this is what's going on with whatever Ryan Coogler gets his hands on in terms of Marvel. Whenever there is a character who is evil and is known for being evil, and if we like them in some form or fashion, usually it's because they are bad guys. He ends up turning them into some pseudo-righteous figure and makes them like, oh, low-key a good guy, when it's like, but even then it's like, no, you're still bad, but you're trying to make them good. Now, I'll give you a couple examples. Killmonger in the comics was not a good guy in any form or fashion. He was a bloodthirsty dude who, along with his family, was exiled out of Wakanda when he was a kid because his parents did something wrong. He felt betrayed by Wakanda, so he grew up to want to go back to Wakanda and take over it out of spite, like basically get his get back. He's a bad dude. Nothing drives this man but spite. When Ryan Coogler gets his hands on him, it's, trying to make him some pseudo-righteous figure of, we could be using these resources to help our brothers and sisters around the world. This help is to topple the governments that oppress them and take over basically he wants world domination. He wants to give weapons to black people so that we can conquer the world. And there's still this air of, he's got a point, you know? And it's like, no, he wants world domination. He wants mass offing of people. He's still not a good guy, but you're still trying to make him into a good guy. Namor. Again, Namor. That is his name, Namor. He's a mutant as an X-gene mutant, half Atlantean hybrid. Alpha level mutant, really powerful. This guy is just barely a good guy. This man is unstable. Like, due to his hybrid nature, he is kind of unstable, but also he has PTSD due to the first humans he met technically were Nazis. And to add on top of all of that, he's more of a villain than a hero. He's an anti-hero / anti-villain. And this man is just extremely violent as well. No, like during Enter the Phoenix, which is basically a whole martial arts blood sport tournament using the Phoenix Force. All practitioners are given equal amounts of the Phoenix Force. So all it is left is your skill and how you use the Phoenix Force. You see, this poor girl named Echo had to go up against Namor. Namor dang near beat that girl to death, okay? Namor's the kind of man where it's like, listen, you better know you can one-shot that man or wipe the floor with him, because if you're not sure, he will wipe the floor with you. This man is extremely arrogant. Let me read you off one of my favorite quotes by him.
Spare me! Niggas think I'm fighting to save the day, but really, nigga, I just like to fight!
Listen very carefully, human. The fact that I even allow you to speak directly to me is a gift I bestow upon you. You don't order me. You beg for my appreciation and then wait to see if I choose to bestow it upon you. Let me just give you another example of what Namor is actually like. The real Namor.
Spare me! Niggas think I'm fighting to save the day, but really, nigga, I just like to fight!
That is how Namor actually acts. But what's the Ryan Coogler version? But what's the Coogler-ified version? None of that. None of that malice is there. None of that Black Air Force energy is present in Namor. Which is disappointing. Again, what we get is some pseudo-righteous dude where it's like, you see, they colonize, they destroy this, that, and the other. So we should destroy them. And if you don't help us destroy them, we'll destroy you. And it's like, and he's supposed to be somehow in the right. What? He's essentially a fascist. I'm right, and if you don't agree with me, I'm gonna wipe you out. And there's another one. There's still another one out there. In the new TV show, Ryan Coogler's introducing the Hood. And I've been slightly interested in the Hood, but I never picked up his books. So I think last week I picked up a book. I picked up his book. I'll show you. This is what I bought. I bought the saga of P. You can see it right here. Basically, I think there's like a new release, because like a new omnibus. Basically, it's all the things you need to know about Red Hood, like put together or so, because like he's so close to being entered into the MCU. But the thing is, I had no idea it was part of Marvel Max imprint. For those who don't know, this is the imprint where they cut loose with what they show. I didn't realize that until I read like at least a chapter in it, and I'm like, wait a minute, ain't this not allowed? And then I looked on the back and I saw, oh no, kind of thing. But anyways, back to his character. So this is confirmed to be what the Hood in the Ironheart TV show is going to be like. Ramos said Robbins was complex and a misfit who, quote, wants to take in other misfits and show the world that you looked at us as outcasts, but we're going to end up on top. You wanna guess what the real Red Hood is like? First thing I want to make clear is that Parker Robbins is not Latino at all. But I find so funny that the MCU is like, oh, we're gonna be so inclusive. We're gonna make a Latino a criminal. Wait a minute. So they're just back to square one. It's like, okay, see, Parker is white, so we're gonna make sure to be inclusive and make him not white. And as a result, it's gonna be a Latino playing a criminal. They're back to square one. But let's get back to the character, the actual Red Hood character. Red Hood is a criminal, a kingpin in crime. This man has his whole powerful syndicate, and he strikes the fear of God into people. That is how terrifying this man is. He is kind of redeemable in the way of like, oh, he cares about his wife and his kid, but still, it's a tiny thread. Because guess what? Because in his beginning issues, this man has a pregnant girlfriend. And he cheats on her consistently with a prostitute. No. Like this man, I'm not gonna. If you want to read the book, I'm not gonna spoil too much. But something messed up happens, and he's like, and you want to know what the first place he goes? He goes to the hoe's house. Oh, I didn't know where to go. No, man. Ooh. And he lies to his girlfriend's face about the whole thing. He lies to her face. But that's the thing. The character is a bad guy. I'm interested in the character, not because he's some redeemable, misunderstood dude. No, he's a cold-blooded killer. Not completely. He's a killer. He can be cold-blooded. And that's the thing I want to see. I want to see this street rat become the boogeyman of the criminal underworld. And come on, superpowered gunslingers are already cool. Now you're making him a dark magician? And he cold-blooded? Man, that's what I want to see. I want to see this dark dude pop the frick off. But no, Ryan Coogler's just got to make every villain he touches into some semi-pseudo righteous, redeemable guy. But is it me, or did it like almost after Coogler did this, like started with Killmonger, several Marvel villains have been made into some redeemable guy in a way? No. I'll list it. Thanos. Unlike his comic book counterpart, he's trying to save the universe in a way. The whole, the resources finite, this finite, that finite. I'm here to save them. I did it on that one planet. All the children know now are full bellies and happy homes. And aren't you gonna say, would you rather his cosmic simp? And my answer to that is, for a certain period of time, yes. But Donny Cates has shown this man is much more than a cosmic simp, and actually taking his obsession away from death makes him an even better villain. So Donny Cates proves that Thanos can still be an omnicidal menace to all of existence. Man, so Thanos could have still just been a pure evil dude. Kang the Conqueror, conquering just because he wants to conquer. He likes conquering. It's in his freaking name. But now he's some dude whose variants are trying to fight the worst variants because, oh, you think I'm bad? You'll see my other variants that I'm trying to stop. So again, I'm doing this because I'm actually righteous and you just don't know how bad things can get. They did this twice now. Twice. In the MCU, they were still trying to make out what he was saying to be like he's got a point. You know what I mean? What he was doing. Trying to justify killing off the super soldiers and how, like, what the Avengers stand for, this, that, and the other. In a way, they were trying to make him righteous. Even though Zemo is just an evil dude. He's a bad guy. Gore in the MCU. He was saying how basically the gods ain't crap. And Taika Waititi made sure he was right. Even though in the comic books, that was far from the truth. Gore was a bad guy. Yeah, he lost his daughter and his wife or whatever. But in the long run, he was still in the wrong. Like, even on a philosophical level, what he was doing was wrong. Please, go watch Alex's from the Imaginary Axis video talking about Gore. But I'll basically give you a little brief rundown. So Gore basically dislikes the gods because, oh, his family died and we prayed to you and you did nothing and all that. And he got the Necro Sword, which is a symbiote created by Null. And the first god he saw, he killed him because they asked him for help because that god was fighting Null. So basically the way Alex from the Imaginary Axis basically explained it was, first off, who's to say the gods that you say exist even exist? Say they do. They didn't ask for it. And another thing, they are maintaining the universe, the multiverse, so they may not even know you exist. And oh, I don't know, maybe they're too busy fighting the freaking Null, the guy who's wiping out entire pantheons, disrupting the Marvel cosmology. Maybe they were busy and they didn't know these little insignificant specks were dying when calling for their names. Maybe they're occupied, you know what I mean? But he was turned into some righteous figure. Thor was like, oh, you're right, Gore. The gods, this, and it's like, dude, the gods are not the bad guys. You know, Omnipotent City, in the comic books, Omnipotent City was a parliament in which they pooled their resources and knowledge together so they can better protect the universe and all its denizens. So see how all that crap kind of came out of left field and it's like, okay, so why'd they try to make them into righteous figures? I don't freaking know. I don't know. Because like, even with Age of Ultron, it was still evident he was in the wrong. With the way they were writing him, it was evident he was still in the wrong. He was still very much the bad guy. But did they follow that? Like, okay, try to make a cool, interesting villain who's trying to play the good guy, but is still very much obviously the bad guy. But after Ryan Coogler cooked, everybody and their mama was trying to pull that off too. And it ruined a lot of characters. And the thing is, even if they introduced Doctor Doom, he still wouldn't have been as well received as he would be. Like, if they were to do an actual Doctor Doom, not RDJ Doctor Doom, just actual Victor Von Doom, a Romani guy who was raised by his mother who was a witch and his dad who was a scientist, went to college with witches, blah, 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 and all that, right? The impact of him being an anti-villain would still not hit the same because of the MCU's oversaturated market of guys who are bad guys doing bad things, but still have an air of, he's kind of right. Because with Doctor Doom, that is a consistent factor. He'll start preaching how he's the actual necessary evil or he's the good guy, right? He'll do a messed up thing. But somewhere down the line, that messed up thing is then backed up by, you know what, he actually got a point. That happened back to back to back. But would it hit the same in this oversaturated market of the MCU when they're anti-villains? Anyways, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Also, my Cashapp is open if you guys want a sponsored video. Any amount is welcome, as little as $1, whatever amount you can muster up and is well within your means will do fine. It will really help out me and the channel, and it will also help basically fund my creativity, so to speak.